So I'm here with the famous Ken Carroll of Chinesepod. Ken, I was very interested in what you were talking about with learning. What are your top tips for learning Chinese, and why is learning Chinese online different and potentially better?
I think the whole thing changes when it migrates onto the web, right? Everything gets different. You know, the Gutenberg era, I think it's over. You're just, like transferring information. I don't think that's really happening. So I think this idea that you can suddenly sort of go to the web, explore, and sort of find things for yourself, and it's a totally different experience, right? I mean, traditionally, yeah, you're learning Chinese, the teacher tells you what to do, right? Do this, do this.
Is learning Chinese different from learning other languages or other things?
I think there are some differences, but I think the basis is exactly the same, right? There's no real difference. I think there are universals in language learning that definitely apply across, it doesn't matter.
Okay, what are the tips? What are the top 3 tips?
Use Chinesepod.
Okay, number 1. Okay.
No, I mean, the point is, right, that, as I'm saying, if everything moves sort of onto the web, you've got to understand how the web works. You've got to understand that you need to approach it differently, for example. You need to take an autonomous kind of approach to it, right? Yeah. When you go to the web, you have the ultimate choice. You can go all over the place. You can consume it the way you want. You can explore the way you want. Most people take Chinese, they take a textbook approach and they start chapter 1 and then they fall asleep by the time they get to chapter 2. And there's a reason for that. But on the web, you've got this sort of HTML sort of interlinked network thing where you start anywhere you want. You start with the things that interest you, right? And then you follow the links that interest you, and that just makes it a totally different experience. So it becomes an exploratory kind of approach as opposed to, follow this link, then do this link, then do this link. That's a little bit complex, but I guess so.
It's just a make your own language approach.
Well, I mean, there is a role for like instructors, for teachers, for practitioners, for people who can guide you. We've got what we call a sort of personalized learning system. So there is there's a framework right there, but it doesn't say you have to start on this unit and learn all the words on this unit and then go to the next, because that's really not much fun. And learning in the real world doesn't happen that way. Kids, for example, every kid has a unique sort of social and sort of psychological experience. There's no single one way to learn a language. You could take anyone, stick them into a language environment as a kid, obviously they will learn it. And I believe the same is true for adults. As long as they can get input, as long as they can get access to information that is manageable, sort of psychologically manageable to them. That's all very complex. But I think that's kind of the philosophy that drives us here. Give people choice, right? Give them access and let them explore the language to their heart's content. Because the idea is, trust the users. The users are intelligent. They're intelligent. Just free them up to pursue the stuff they want to do, and they will.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
No, way too complex, actually.